Hey everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And welcome. It's a holiday weekend,
It
y'all.
sure is. Happy Labor Day and welcome to the ARTyRV live stream. We're going to be answering your questions tonight, so put them in the chat with a Q. I hope everyone is having a happy Labor Day.
And maybe if you're at a cookout, or maybe you were at a cookout earlier today, I hope everything was good.
I hope the weather was fine for you. I hear some storms came into Texas, and we've had a pretty sunny day. It started raining tonight, but
Yeah, just
the
a little
day's
bit
been
ago,
pretty
Barb.
nice here in South Carolina. So if you have a question, put it in the chat with a Q. Ray's here.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey everybody, Ray's in the house. Let's give him a big thumbs up.
Thank you, Ray.
And thank you, Ray, for everything that you do. And just a little snippet to you, Ray. Miss Mary said thank you. She's enjoying her snack. She gets it at exactly 7 o'clock.
Yeah, she's something else, I'll tell you.
She is. So welcome everybody, and don't forget, if you're catching this live stream after it's aired, we do, it's kind of like I guess you would say we replay the chat all the time. So
Right.
you can go back to the live stream and check it out. But if you're watching it and we're not live, then we won't be answering any of your questions. So
You'll have to come the
you have
next
to come
week
the next week.
and leave a question.
And we've got a couple good questions already.
We do.
Tonight.
We do.
And we've got, so guess what? It's Viewer Showcase night.
It is, and we've got some really
man.
good viewer showcase entries, and I think you're going to enjoy them, and we'll do that later tonight.
Yeah, you guys are amazing craftsmen. You guys are amazing.
Okay.
So, so what do we got? Do we have you want to do some questions, or you just want
Yeah,
to?
we want to do some questions, and you're going to do,
We'll cut a little bit of glass and,
some
let's see.
demo. He's going to do a glass demo for you guys.
Yeah.
We had a lot of questions come in this week. We tried to answer all of them. If we didn't answer all of them, leave a question here in the chat if you didn't get your question answered. But I think we got to everyone.
I think we got to everybody. I hope that we did. And I even got on and tried to answer some of the questions too this week. And,
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it.
well, I know because Barb is bombarded. And we got it, and I'm answering the questions now. So some of y'all may get an answer from me, and which
We try.
we
try to answer the questions in the morning, but sometimes we just don't have. Like this morning, we had like a bunch of questions on an old video that we had done. So
That's right,
one of our old videos took off, and that was kind of cool. But I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, and all of a sudden, boom, our old video took off, and
We had a bunch of questions come in.
we got our new sleeves in today, and you see I got colors now. These are.
I have pink. I could have given you pink to go with your
I could have had pink for
shirt.
my shirt, but
Darn
I think
it.
pink and gray look good together. Pink and gray look really good on Christmas ornaments. So that's just me.
Okay.
So,
a lot of people here tonight, Ed.
Yeah, that's great, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And those of you that haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. And remember, just a little thumbs up or I like you. That's all good because it all counts. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, and just leave a comment. Tell us you like us or you don't like us. It all means the same to the algorithm, and we appreciate every comment and every follow and every subscriber. It means a lot to us in our channel for you guys to be so, what do you
Right.
call it?
Generous. Loyal and generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because remember, when we grow, we try to help y'all grow, and when y'all grow, we definitely grow.
Okay, I've got a question that came in tonight already. What do you do when you're almost finished soldering a complex copper foil project and you get a tiny crack in a piece of glass right in the middle of the glass, right in the middle of the piece?
3-letter word, cry. No, I'm just kidding. I think,
Don't
hey, if you had,
Don't
don't
cry.
cry because it's just, it's only glass. And if you haven't soldered both sides of it yet, it's definitely going to be much easier to take out. So you can, you can do a repair job yourself on your window, in the middle. Because what's going to happen if you add a line to it? Guess what? It's going to look like you added a line to it. So what I would do is I would I would try and stand the window up and then take my soldering iron and erase the solder that I've put on there already to eliminate it and get it back down to the copper foil. And then I would remove the piece. That's what I would do.
It's
Whose question
worth it.
was that?
That's Carol R.
Oh,
She's
Carol.
worked so hard.
Oh,
I know,
man.
it broke my heart. But
That's what I would
I
do
know.
though, Carol. I'd replace it.
just replace it. And then,
Because nobody will know but you, but I would go ahead and replace it.
you don't want to sell it because you know you're going to sell it. And you don't want to say, oh, I got to fix that
you'll
crap.
definitely sell that piece.
And you'll be like,
And
oh,
you
it's
know what?
crap.
And it'll take an hour out of your lifetime, and it'll be a wonderful thing, and you'll be able to sleep at night. So that's
Yeah,
good.
you won't feel bad about it. Like you feel like you got it over on someone if they buy it, or you have to take it back and fix
Or
it.
they'll
That
say,
was-
"Oh, did you see
I was
that
going to
little
buy
crack?"
it, but it was got a
It's got
little crack
in
in
it. That's an
Anyway.
inherent quality. No, it's not really.
Magali, her husband got her a brownie topped with strawberries to enjoy her live with her favorite people tonight. Thank
Wow.
you.
Well, that's an
She's
awful
so
nice
spoiled, I swear.
comment, Magali. Thank you.
Yeah, she is so spoiled, though, I swear.
Yeah, she is. She's spoiled right.
So, let's see. What you got going on in the studios, Ed?
Well, what do I have going on? We got the holiday out of the way. We got we have one more class for the fall, September the 20th. And it's a make and take, and I don't think that it's full yet.
It is.
It is
Sorry,
full. Okay.
yes.
And then, we got the neon sign that we've had for 26 years. It's the neon glass blowing studio sign, and we got it out, and we've got it cleaned up, and we're gonna be mounting it back in the glass blowing studio. I figured since we were revamping the whole glass blowing studio that we needed to go ahead and pull out the neon, make sure that it worked, and it did. So plugged it right in, and gosh, y'all. It really was pretty, and now we got it cleaned up because it had dust all over it forever. And so it's cleaned up, and hopefully we'll be installing it in the glass studio this week. So just a couple of different things going on. We don't do neon, but we were cleaning it because a friend of ours did the neon for us.
So we're getting the stained glass sales room set up, and we're getting the glass blowing teaching class set up. Our new furnace is in, and they're getting that studio sign in there. It's really going to look pretty this year.
Right, and in October, our stained glass retail
Opens.
in October. So we'll have glass for you, and we won't be carrying a whole lot of supplies just because. I mean, we'll be carrying like solder, things that you use all the time, and but we'll be happy to order anything for you, or we'll just give you our where you can go directly to our Amazon page and go shopping that way too. So, but we got it going on. Ray will pop that up for us, I'm sure. But any other questions? We got some more questions tonight?
Well, I did want to tell the guys that we do have the new lead class online. It's a February class. So if you guys, I know I have to make my plans 6 months in advance. That might be more than 6 months.
It's pretty
not.
close.
It's pretty
right
close.
at it, yeah. It's
So
right
that
at it. We're in
lead
September.
class, that lead class is in February. January class is beginner. Lead class is February. Make and take is March.
Right. So all of our classes for January, February, and March are posted on our website. So if you want to, the only prerequisite you have for the lead class is you really need to be pretty proficient at cutting glass. Other than that, you're good to go. We teach the entire process. I just don't spend a lot of time with you on learning how to cut glass because most of you, once you've done the beginner class, or you've done, copper foil work, if you've done copper foil work for any amount of time, you have taught yourself how to cut glass because you really, in order for your work to look good, you need to be fairly proficient at cutting glass.
Right, and let's see here if we have another question. And also, I want to let you know, September 15th, you'll get an email. If you've signed up for the newsletter, you'll get an email, and it lists all the upcoming classes. glass
For-
blowing for November. And
October, right? No, November. That's right.
November classes, yes. So October classes are full.
That's right. Yeah. So we sent the class schedule out for on August the 15th, and by lunchtime, October was full. So keep an eye on it if you'd like to take one of our classes and learn the art of glass blowing and making a Christmas ornament. Just register on our class page right there.
And Ray wants to know what idiot. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking well tonight.
Blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Ray wants to know what video do you want him to pop up?
Oh no, I was just the website, the address for our shopping page on the Amazon page.
Our Amazon page.
Our Amazon page, Ray. I'm sorry.
And it is in the description in the video. And also, the sign up to join the membership is also in the link is in the description of the video. So just, you can get to that. We always have questions about that. And members got a lot of stuff this week. We had a
Yeah.
lot of things go up first to members. And so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, and we got some things. Just this morning we were just like cranking on what to do with some new videos. So we've got some a great lineup for that too now.
Pauline wants to know how many burgers did you have? And did you have any hot dogs?
I did not have any hot dogs. Can you believe it? And believe it or not, let me just tell you, this is a little story. So tonight we had for dinner, we had once a month we get the Hello Fresh delivered in for us. And boy, that's a plug for them. Anyway, so tonight we had Gouda cheeseburgers with onion and tomato jam and potato wedges in the oven.
What was the sauce that was on that?
The sauce, here you go, guys. Sour cream, mayonnaise, and smoked paprika.
It was really good.
Oh my gosh, it was
Tomato
incredible.
jam, guys.
Tomato
Try it.
jam on the stove. Just let it cook down. 2 tablespoons of sugar, some chicken bouillon, and paprika to give it that smoky flavor. Anyway, it was really good, y'all. And no, I didn't have any hot dogs, Pauline, but thanks for asking.
Okay, what do you do with scrap lead?
What I do, I have several friends that fish. And so what I do is I put them in our little plastic coffee containers. And when I fill them up and that holds about 10 pounds of lead cutoffs. And then I give them a call and they come get it and they make sinkers or whatever they do with it. It's, cooking lead is very caustic. You don't want to do it inside the building. You have to do it outside. But they do make sinker molds. And my buddies that fish a lot, that's what they do. I give them the lead and they make the sinkers. So
Yeah.
used to be a pretty good trade-off when I fished a lot because they would bring me sinkers. I would give them lead and they would bring me sinkers. So it was a pretty good trade-off. So anyway, that's what I do with it. You can also take it to your local recycle place and they give you about 6 cents a pound for it. It's not much, but it's better than it going in the landfill.
Yeah, don't put it in the landfill. We use coffee cans to
Yeah.
save-
Even the little
save the
pieces, I just
scrap.
sweep them in a pile off the table.
And
And you
then-
know what, Barb? I'm sorry, go ahead.
You
Go
can
ahead.
also use it to make your rosettes
Yeah, you can if you're
if you have a kiln.
yeah, if you have a kiln and can make molds, you can also make rosettes. But you know what? While we're talking about lead, we have a lot of questions about why don't I wear gloves and
Oh,
things
yeah,
like
because
that.
we had a lot of lead
Yeah, we had a-
shorts this week, and
yeah, we
people
had a-
had all kinds of questions.
Yeah, and I still have a couple of the profiles here, but here's the thing, guys, and you'll see on our Amazon page, we have all the de-lead products. Okay, so here's the thing: hand sanitizer does absolutely nothing to remove lead from your hands or your skin. So, like right now, the best way for anyone to check their lead levels in their body is to get a blood test, and they will check it for you. So I had mine done about 3, 4, 5 months ago, I guess, and it was at what they call a 5. So my doctor says, well, that's not even close enough to put you in the hospital. So, but say like back in the back in the 70s, the lead levels in children was in the high 60s or so. And then the lead levels in the adults was even a little bit lower, but not much, because what I found out, what I've been reading about, is that children absorb lead more than adults. Adults absorb about 20% of the lead, and children absorb about 70% of lead. So because we have all the different paints now and all that stuff, the best way for us as artists to maintain our health when using cane is, of course, number one, don't eat it. Number two, while you're working with your cane in your studio and you're fabricating the window, don't smoke, eat, or drink without washing your hands with the D-lead products, y'all. Soap just doesn't do it. And they also make a product that will maintain the lead dust that's in your clothing when you come home.
So it removes the dust, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very important. The other thing is, when you're soldering your stained glass window using lead, because you're using a lead solder, and you're working on lead, and then you're adding a flux to it, which is an acid.
It's even worse.
So now you're taking and you're putting these caustic processes all together. Ventilation is imperative in your studio. If you don't have the correct ventilation, or somewhere where you can go wash your hands, not many of us still smoke. Everybody's pretty much quit that. But if you eat or anything like that, put your hands in your mouth, scratch your head, anything. Your hands should be washed prior to that. Repelling lead poisoning is very simple. It's all about hygiene, guys. It's all about hygiene. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. And you can get sick from basically anything, but if you'll do the hygiene thing with the lead, you'll find that at least your lead levels in your blood will be low. So
And we don't have as much worry today. Our gas is lead-free, our paints are lead-free.
right.
So there's a lot of products now that we don't use that at one time, that's the only thing we
Even
had.
the paints we use to paint glass with are lead free.
Now they are, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, because lead, when you're burning lead paints in the kiln, oh boy, is it caustic too. I mean, there are so many things. But everybody, please be careful. And thanks for worrying about Ed. And I do check my lead levels, but it is greatly appreciated.
And some people do need to wear gloves
I think so.
When they work. But, if you feel safer using gloves, go ahead and do that. But
Right.
the reason we don't use gloves, Ed's never used gloves for lead work.
For
but we
fabrication.
are very careful.
And I've had, let's see, in the 43 years I've been doing this, I probably have had my lead levels checked probably 5 times. But it was 5 times really since 1986. I don't think I ever had it checked when I worked for somebody else. I don't remember. I don't think I did.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
lots of history.
You're all right. We're
I'm
not
all
going to
right.
worry about you. Okay. What kind of clear glass do you use when you're doing a repair for some old religious glass windows? It looks like standard clear glass in a couple of videos. Do you use antique clears for repairs?
Well, it depends on, it depends on, excuse me, I got an itch here, hang on.
You wouldn't use commercial made antiques for repairs in
No,
old windows.
definitely
No.
not, no.
It doesn't look anything like it.
You would use restoration glass.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. They call it restoration glass.
It's completely
Excuse me.
different
It's
from
completely different, right. They have what they call restoration, then they have light restoration, and then they have heavy restoration. And they all are, those names are all separated by about 50 years in time. And they're all made, they're still made today, but they are replicated from glass. Say heavy restoration is really wavy. I mean, it's really wavy. And it's like, from the mid 1800s back. And then when you get earlier than that, it had a lot of seeds in it. it was real seedy earlier in
And
the
they have all
1700s.
that, yeah, they have all that restoration work dated. The glass is
That's
dated.
what I mean. It's dated 50 years apart, basically.
Yeah, so you can look at what the date on those windows are and get your glass, and it's gonna
be
match.
close, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, you'd
They've
be
got
surprised.
it figured out.
They got it figured out. You'd be surprised. And so we use, we order, what you're going to find though with the restoration glass is the sheets are goofy.
The size.
The sizes are goofy. But they will, most of the suppliers for restoration glass will cut it for you. You just pay for the waste. So they give you an upcharge on the square footage, and then they just ship it to you, and you don't have to worry about it. A lot of times, guys, it's easier to do something like that where you can make some money and not necessarily have to handle it. So, but you're going to do finding the restoration glass, you're going to be doing all the work anyway. Yeah. So you've got, but all of your brick and mortar distribution centers carry restoration glass.
Sunshine has a sale on Amerway solder. Is that a good brand and worth getting several pounds?
Well, Amerway is a good solder because it has very little trash in it. And actually, if I were to think about it, I probably have 10 rolls of Amerway at the shop. So yeah, I would use it, and if it's on sale, definitely go ahead and buy it because, like I said, it's very little trash, if any, inside Amerway solder. So.
Okay, I don't have a kiln, but do you think I can melt lead in my microwave oven? It's only for my work.
Now, lead's going to melt at about 470, 480
and you don't want those
degrees.
fumes inside.
You don't want them in the house. You don't want them inside the equipment. You don't want them nowhere.
You want
even
to
if
do
you're only
that. You
using
want to
it.
melt lead outside.
So when you melt lead, technically outside, most of my friends use like a Coleman, like a gas camp stove, and a stainless steel pot, and you put the lead in there, and you basically melt it like that at about 450 degrees, about the temperature of really hot frying oil.
I don't know what temperature a microwave gets to.
I don't know either, but I don't know that because you don't want it bubbling and
Fuming up.
It's very
And contained enclosure.
yeah,
is
it's
what I'm
very
talking about.
caustic.
It'll be all contained in my. I don't know what would happen, Pauline. Okay.
Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't ruin
Is
your.
it dangerous to put metal in a microwave?
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe it is.
Yeah, whether it's
So,
lead or not.
Lead is a metal.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't put it in there. I highly advise against it.
I would, if you want to melt lead and do some castings, I suggest you do it outside on a camp stove in a stainless steel sauce pot.
And pour it into your mold.
And pour it into your molds. Yeah.
Okay, that was a fun question, right?
That is a good question though, because I can remember as a little boy.
Thank you, Carol.
I can remember as a little boy making sinkers with my dad, and I don't remember where he got the lead. Oh, I know. The lead that we used to get. My dad had a friend that would save the weights off of the car tires. Remember when they used to have to balance the tires with weights on the inside? Mm-hmm. Well, we would get those and melt those down for sinkers, and then you just pull the little clip out of the molten lead with a pair of tweezers.
That's crazy.
That just kind of tells my age a little bit, guys.
I can't see the rest of that question, Carla. Let me see if I can. I got to move it up. No, it's covered up with that little symbol right there.
What about melting solder?
That's what I said.
Using the soldering iron or something? Hey, I wouldn't. No, solder's too expensive to be.
No, you wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that.
Too expensive.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't think I would. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But they do. They still have to balance tires. If you know anybody in the tire industry, they don't keep those weights. They They can't just keep reusing them once that clip bends, they're done.
Can I have some tea, please?
Sure.
I'm thirsty. Thank you. Okay, any more questions?
Yeah.
Typeset is made, a newspaper typeset was made.
Out of lead?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go. That's cool.
How do stained glass artists sign and date their work? How do you know who created a piece?
Well, you don't unless they do sign their work. We invert a piece of glass in all of our windows, and that's something that my father started a long time ago. And it'd be like, he said, I'm going to start marking our work, Ed. I was like, well, how are you going to do that? He said, I'm just going to put one piece of glass in upside down.
And
And
you can sign and date your work with an etching pen,
Yeah, it's an engraving pen.
engraving pen. We
It
probably have one on
vibrates.
our Amazon
Yeah, we
page.
do have one. I'm
We
pretty
do?
sure. Yeah, we have one on our Amazon
Yeah, a
page.
little electric engraving. You just engrave one of the pieces before you put it in.
Yep.
And
sometimes people will engrave the lead, and I've seen
Oh, the lead,
lamps
that's
where
easy.
and I have seen windows too, and done repair work on them where they take a small, just go to like a trophy shop or something, and have a little brass plaque made that says, Jamestown Glass Incorporated or whatever. And so they would do that, and because it's brass, then they would just solder it to the window. It would be hidden, but if somebody ever took the window out or had to do some maintenance on it, then they would know exactly who made it. So, I think the brass plaque idea is, probably the most visible idea. I think.
the nicest thing, one of the nicest thing about working for a church is that they do document, it's documented who does the windows. So, it's in the church records. A lot of times you can find
Right.
out who did the windows.
And they keep records, from way back.
Yeah.
The documentation is important.
What project gave you the most frustration?
I don't know. I've had a couple of them, but a lot of times I don't get really frustrated with the windows though, Barb, because once I start on them, I just really get involved in them, and I get frustrated more with repairs than I do new windows. So that's a pretty good question, and mostly it's repairs that give me a time. I don't really believe that I can think of a window that I've designed and fabricated that was frustrating, because I learned a long time ago that when you're designing a window, make it less frustrating for yourself.
Design it so that you can
Design-
cut it,
Yeah, and don't
not somebody else.
and what I do is I know my limitations, but I also want to be able to evolve a little bit more. Every time I build a window, I'm growing a little bit more. So when I draw these pieces of glass, when I draw this design, or any design, and I draw these pieces of glass, sometimes when I draw them, I'm challenging myself to cut them, because I don't use a saw in my studio.
And sometimes after he draws the window, he looks at it and he says, "Who drew this window?" And he'll have to redraw some of those things that he thought were going to work out good,
Right.
and redo it.
But when you redraw them, you still have to make them fit within the window and not look like you changed it, if that makes sense, guys. Because your lines, whether you're doing copper foil or lead, are very important. And I stress a lot in our lead making, in our lead light class. If you draw the window a certain way and your lines don't run the way that you drew it, it won't look like that window.
No, it won't.
I don't care what you do to it. It will not look like that window unless you run the lead lines the way you drew it. Whether that means encompassing pieces inside of each other and then up, so that you wrap these pieces completely so that they become where they take command of the window and they take charge of where they are. You have to do that. That's what I said.
He's
No,
so
but-
dramatic.
Well, but
Oh.
I'm thinking about it. You know, it's a fabricating and drawing windows is a real passion of mine, and
Until they get him frustrated.
but then the only reason
He
that
likes
I would
that. I
be
don't
frustrated,
see him get frustrated
Yeah.
with windows. He gets
I-
frustrated with me, but not with the stuff.
if I design the window and I get frustrated with it, then I haven't done my job, or I haven't done my job correctly anyway. So.
Let's see.
We do have two more really cool windows coming up, y'all. and
Yeah,
I
we
can't wait
do.
to share them with you.
What size pieces are most sellable? Are you busier making small sun catchers or panels?
I'm not,
Panels.
yeah, because we do commission work and repair work. So that's where our niche is we do commission work and we do repair work. And I'll build a small thing every now and then, but I would say 90% of our work is commission work, and the other 10% is repair work. Now I have a customer that found us on the internet. She's sending us a lamp from somewhere in the Midwest that needs some bent panels, and so those are the kind of jobs that we take. A last bent panel lamp we sent back up to Canada. Remember, It went to Canada. We had 4 panels to bend for it. We bent them and shipped them back up to Canada. So.
When we started our store in 1986, sun catchers, but we had immediately started taking in commissions, and that's when we realized that's what we really wanted to do, because Ed has always been really good. That's been a real passion of his. But the sun catchers are what we started making.
And that's
that
what
would
fed us.
kind of keep everything going.
Paid the overhead. When
No,
we started
well,
the business,
I
we were
don't know
paying
if it ever-
$200 a month rent.
Yeah, and
remember?
then it paid the overhead, but it wouldn't pay
Then
it
it paid the
now.
overhead. But it's really hard. It's really hard to do. A lot of people like panels that are. You don't ask what size works the best. If you're going to do panels for shows, I think like 12 by 12s framed, not just hanging there. 16 by 20s, something that'll hang in a window for that particular customer. And I will say this, anything under the ocean works.
Well, it depends on your
Yeah,
location.
where you-
If
where
you
you
live in
are.
the mountains, you're going to sell mountains and trucks,
Sunrises and
dogs,
trucks,
and
yeah,
horses,
right.
or I don't know about horses in the mountains, but anyway, you know what I mean.
So it just
Location.
depends. Right. So if you're on the eastern shore of Maryland, man, you better be doing crabs and shrimp and oysters, all those things. And if you're in the Midwest, I'm not sure, trucks. If you're in the mountains, sunrises, sunsets. If you're down in Florida, fish.
Do you ever sell some of your patterns?
We have a couple that are online right now, and they're for beginner patterns, but they're my original patterns, and we should have some more online within the next few weeks. Barbara's been not on me. She's just been saying, "Hey, why don't you draw some of your original designs? Why don't you get some of your original designs that you do in your classes, and let's get them online for our viewers." So that's what we're working on.
It just takes time.
It just takes
We're very
time.
busy.
So, but I tell you what this is 12 by 12s in a wooden frame.
Will fit anywhere.
Will fit anywhere, and the prices that's up to you, but you're going to use 4 foot 6 inches of wood framing. So you need to figure that in. You're going to use 12 by 12. If you do a 12 by 12 lead window with a 1 inch border and something in the middle, it's going to take you about 16, not quite 3 lengths of lead to build it. And so if you have all that in and then decide how much money do you want to make profit on that, and hang them all around your booth and sell the fire out of them. That's what I would do.
What is it like working with customers on commission? Do you have to set limits? Yes.
So, yeah, you have to, because if you don't take control, then it gets out of hand, because they will expect something that's not even possible. So what I've found over the years is, number one, you don't bring out a sample box of color and say, okay, because that's like the wrong thing to do. Before they even get to your shop, pull out some colors to work with that number one, that you know that are available. And this is all work that's done prior to your customer coming in the shop. But the other thing is don't show them an entire sample box, because they'll get so confused that it'll be better if they came back another day. So the best thing to do is what I do is, this is how we do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
About the customers. Mm-hmm. How do I'm just our customers or anybody's customers can get you confused if you let them. But what you have to do, what I have to do is I explain to them what it is that I do, how long I've been doing it, and that they're only limited really by their imagination. So what they have to do is explain to me what they'd like to see in their window, and then kind of give me a rough idea of what kind of colors that they like. And then we do a deposit. And then within about 6 weeks, their drawings are ready for them to approve. I have all my customers sign off on the drawings, because then there's no question asked that they haven't seen them or there's something wrong with them. And then we go to work.
Yeah, you have to set boundaries, and you have to think about what is your
Perimeter,
contract,
I
perimeters,
guess,
or what you're going to work in. What is the price? What is the time? And what is the design? And
Right.
you have to agree on it and sign off on it, and stick to your
Yeah.
promises.
And the best way that I've found to do that is when they walk in the door, before we've even talked anything about price or anything, is if we're talking about stained glass, I get a folder. And then I staple some notebook paper in there, in the folder. Now it's my booklet for that job. And I do my sketches on it for them. They don't get to leave with any of my sketches, because they're just sketches. So once we receive a deposit on the job, now we're working for them. So things change just a little bit, and then we get all excited because now we have another commission to
Yeah,
work on.
and once you come to the deposit, and they've accepted that you're going to do the job, and you've made all those decisions, then you can share more information. But you're not going to be at their beck and call even then.
No, not even then. No, not even then. So like I said, once we get the deposit from our customers, it's typically 6 to 8 weeks for the scale drawing to be completed for their approval. And in between that time, I'm doing the drawing, I'm nailing down glass, making sure what I think that we need to be using is available, so that when I do show them samples, I can say, yeah, it's going to take us 3 weeks to get this and what have you. So anyway, it's pretty drawn out, but Barb and I have been doing it for a very long time, and it's kind of like second nature to us.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to meet a new customer.
You know, that
It's
might be a
always
fun little video for our members. You know, how do you get that contract? How do you get your first contract? What does your contract look like? Those kind of things.
Well, I'll tell you this, unless you believe in yourself, they're not going to believe in you. And that,
I,
I get excited when I start talking about, selling a job to a customer, so they can't help but give me the commission. I hope they do anyway.
well, you love it. They know you love your work.
Right,
That's
and
why.
if I didn't
And
enjoy
that
my work,
enthusiasm
carries
shows. Yes. Okay. Sally Miller. Hey, Aunt. I'm not sure if I'm your aunt because I think I have a. Do I have a cousin? Do I have a niece named Sally Miller? I'm not sure. In New Jersey.
I don't believe
It's funny because I have some Miller family in New Jersey. That's why it kind of caught
Well,
me
you
off
do,
guard.
yeah, that's right, because you're two cousins.
Yeah, I have cousins in New Jersey with the last
South
name
Jersey.
South Jersey with Miller, right near Pauline. I just realized that, Pauline. Okay, when are we going to see the Catchman window when you're making it, and the window with the fogman? This is the
Gasnet?
Castnet guy.
All right,
Yes.
so now we got everything out of the way, and the Castnet
Thank you,
guy
Nancy.
he's being installed next week.
Mm-hmm.
We're finishing, we're puttying, and so we're going to give you the rundown over the finishing process of that particular window. The other two sections are done. The Castnet guy is in. I can't wait for y'all to see the glass that most of you saw the glass that we have chosen for the Castnet, but I don't think, but just a couple of you. Actually, Ray's the only one that's seen it in the window because he came to the shop a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I
him
think
and
some of the
Susie.
students have seen.
Oh yeah, some of the
window.
students. That's right.
It
That's
should be
right.
going in what, the end of next week?
First part of the week after. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Carol. We
Carol.
appreciate that.
There
There
it
it
is.
is. Here you go.
There we go.
Um,
Boom, boom, boom.
Jan
Thank you,
figured
Carol.
out what was making her putty separate. She was using water-based paint instead of oil.
Yeah, oil-based paint. It says in the.
But
the
easy
dress.
mistake. I'm glad you figured it out, Jan. That's awesome. We need to do.
Well, I've got to make putty this week. So
We have not done a
glass demonstration.
glass demo. Plus, we have to do
Viewer showcase.
viewer showcase. So, which do we want to do first? Viewer
Well,
showcase.
No, let's cut a piece of glass and get everybody ready to roll for viewer showcase. Here we go.
Whoop.
I'm sorry. I got it. There we go. There we go. It's all good. Oh, that's cool.
All right.
It popped up the same colors on the thing.
I know that's what I did. I did that on purpose.
Okay, so I left my my personal glass cutter is at the shop, y'all, and so I'm going to be using. You can give us a close up there, Barb. I think is it working?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. So this is our Silver Schnitt 4000. Okay. And now remember, it does have a head that depresses, and you know what? That camera's right on spot right there. Look
Yeah, I
at
don't
that.
know why it was moving though.
Well, the first thing we want to do here is we're going to take our square and we're going to square this piece of glass up. Now I pulled out my grousing pliers, okay, and I've pulled out my running pliers, and for some reason I grabbed my lead nippers, which we don't need tonight. But anyway, I do want to. This is a Wismac glass. I don't know what the part number is, but it was very common in backgrounds of church windows here in the South. So, matter of fact, Barb and I did a repair job, and there's a video on that repair job down in Georgetown, South Carolina, where this actually was the background glass in the window. And I think Barbara probably remembers that. So remember, when I'm using this glass cutter, I turn it around so that the screw head is in the back. I make sure that I'm on the edge, and here we go. Now you may or may not hear this, or I may or may not hear this, but we'll tilt the microphone over here just a little bit, make sure that we can hear this for you. And there we go. We want to come off the end. Here we go. Now remember, whether you hear it or not, you are separating the molecules on the surface of the glass. It doesn't matter whether you hear the score or not. So if you push, you know, you can hear the score if you want to like stand on your glass cutter, but you don't want to. You want a nice little, okay. You want a nice, just a nice little even pressure right there. Just like that. And we have a lot of questions that come up on the channel or through our viewers is, you know, I can't hear the score when I score my glass. Well, what I want y'all to do is just to remember that when you're scoring your glass, if you'll give it enough pressure to depress the head like that, if you'll give it that much pressure and score your glass, I don't think you'll have any problems. So here we go. Let's try that. Let's try that one more time. There we go, right? Oh, maybe I should cut sideways. You want me to cut sideways? No?
No.
Okay, so here's the end, and here's my other end. So here we go. Again, I'm depressing the head. You hear it? And I'm going to get right in the center of my score and run it out. Just like that. So I don't know if y'all heard it, but when we went through this green right here, this blue-green color, you could hear the score. That is really soft. But now after we left that area, see the blue, it's really soft. We left that area and we had our green and white, and this is green and white, and these colors, see the colors stacked up in there? So where those colors are stacked up is where you hear and don't hear the score. Let's try it again. Here's our green. And so when I come through there, we'll just listen to it. And here we go. Depress the head. Click. When we went through the green right there, my score sounded like it was supposed to. But again, I have separated the molecules on the surface of the glass by keeping the same amount of pressure start to finish. I was able to complete my score, and then also in turn I've completed the piece of glass that I needed to be able to have for whatever it is I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I needed that border piece right there, and I got it. But if I don't keep the same amount of pressure start to finish, everybody, it's not going to come out correctly. You can't stop and start in the middle of your glass cutting or anything else. So this glass right here, we all recognize it. This is an Oceanside, formerly Spectrum, and this glass is a 828.6. This glass is the steel blue and white, and they make 3 different shades of this. This is really a pretty color, though. This is great for this glass. This 828.6 is great for blue herons, birds like that. For instance, your mergansers, or what are called, the nickname is snake bird. They're a beautiful blue like this with white up under their wings. But I want you to hear this. The reason I got this is I want you to hear the difference in this and that. Listen to this. Let's just cut a narrow piece. Listen to that. See how soft that is? Boom, here we go. Now the colors in this are still stacked up. We've got white, blue, But what you heard was me depressing the head on the glass cutter, right? That little thump. That's my glass cutter head depressing. Here we go. And it sounded like it skipped back here, and it sounded like it skipped up here, but it didn't. Why? Because I kept the same pressure, start to finish, top to bottom, same pressure. We'll do it one more time, and we're going to get into this viewer showcase. But listen to this. Listen to how the different glass sounds with different colors. Here we go. Ready? Depress the head. And we'll do that one more time.
Okay.
So again, if you're wanting to build some blue herons, 828.6 is your glass, and then use the its sister color for additional wings and feathers. So anyway, hey, I just thought I'd share that with you again. Those of you that are, this is the Silver Snip 4000. It's a little bit expensive cutter, but I really like it. So, and again, it also has this grooved grip right here. This kind of takes the place of the solder that I use on my, I took the copper foil and I wrapped it around and then I soldered it and I made myself a finger stop. And but this has a grooved area, and it seems to do a really good job of keeping your index finger up where it belongs. So remember, guys, same pressure, start to finish, and the frustration will stop. Never pick up your cutter while you're working, even if you roll into a pothole. Just drive straight out and continue your score, and then break it out just like you're supposed to. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Question. The patterns in the glass, do you think of the way the pattern's direction dictate your scenery?
Somewhat, but I do think about that, but I also think about the glass that I might be using. So yeah, that would be in the scenery. It's like right now, it seems like we've been working on water forever, right?
And clouds, like that one would be dark, stormy clouds.
Yeah, this would be
this would
be a beautiful glass for stormy clouds, and or a beautiful glass for sails on a clipper ship, and then behind it would be the lighter version of this, and then for the clouds would be the darker version, so that you created that look, and that you created that feeling that when you look at that window, the wind's blowing at you,
Yeah, whatever it looks like when you see it, that's what you can make it into.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Definitely.
be inspired by the glass.
Yeah. And
John
you-
has another question.
Okay, yeah.
I want to do viewer showcase because I
Okay.
know people
No,
are
that's-
excited.
I know where I am too.
And he's a newbie. He's full of questions, but does stained glass get brittle over time if you don't use it?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no, the composition of glass doesn't change over time.
Okay. Let's go to viewer showcase.
Alrighty, hold on.
Let's go. Okay.
And
Okay.
wow.
Okay, Brett Jackson. Brett writes, I hope this note finds you well. It's hard to believe that summer is winding down, but here in South Texas, we are looking forward to fall and some cooling temperatures. We just returned from a road trip up to the Northwest to visit our kids and grandkids and had a wonderful time. I have this piece of Southwest style glass for a couple of years now, and thought it would be good. I thought it would be perfect for this project. This is a copper foil piece with a hobby cane border.
I love it.
I used a small cotter pin for the hanger that can easily be bent over the glass and buried in the joint, making a solid connection and an almost invisible hanger.
There you go. Awesome.
I enjoy watching your channel and have been a fan for years. All the best, Brett.
Thank you, Brett.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
I love the glass. I love the glass. Great.
Yeah.
Great
The
choice of
swirl
color.
at the bottom is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Thank you very much. Okay. Jan Cook sent this in. Just a fun, small project, 12 by 10 inches. It's a mix of art glass and some fused glass, the tail lights. Leaded, no copper foil. I try to make a panel or such of our travels. This was a pack trip to the mountains near our home. Love your videos. Thanks for sharing and caring.
Thanks, Jan. That looks good.
Love
I like
from
it.
Wyoming. Bobby Schneider. Simple pattern, used up lots of scrap.
Way to go. And that's a, you know what? Here's the thing, doll. That's a great use for your scrap. Why not? And you know what else? That looks beautiful hanging in your booth at the show, at the craft show. You know?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
That looks good, Bobby. And the hobby came around the outside, just finished it off. It looks nice.
Does look good. Okay. This is Christine in Tampa, Florida. Love the show and thank you for sharing your knowledge. I always have wanted to have a backlit stained glass house number panel. In collaboration with a local woodworker who created the shadow box, my dream has finally become a reality. The glass panel is 8 by 30 and done in lead cane method. I used LED tape lights inside and it glows perfectly at night. In the winter when it's cooler, I repaint the house and I will remove the light and metal house numbers and move the stained glass panel to the left. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then it'll be a permanent
That'll
light.
be
That'd
perfect.
be awesome.
And the colors that you used are perfect because it looks like the lamp beige will light up and glow, and
it does, and that color is so warm.
and then the black just stands out. Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it.
Beautiful.
Great design too. The way you brought it all in.
And Michael.
Oh, hey,
Thank
Michael.
you,
Thank you.
Michael.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate it.
Okay. And this is stained glass by Robin Boudoir. Brudor?
Brudor.
Brudor.
Right? Brudor. I hope we said that right, Robin.
Here's my submission for your viewer showcase. I call this Midnight Moon, a Good Night Moon. The pattern was purchased from an Etsy shop. I'm a newer glasser. I started June 2023. I've done some larger, more complex pieces, but I've recently started making smaller panels to sell. This is one of them.
I love your cutting skills.
Yes, very pretty, nice use of glass, and it looks like you're using an iridized Baroque.
It does. It looks like an iridized Baroque. It sure does.
We
It's
looked
really
at that,
pretty.
and it looks like black and clear iridized Baroque, and may have been a spectrum glass. I
At one
don't
time,
know
yeah.
if Oceanside makes it. Nice though, Robin. Very good. Okay, this was a surprise.
Oh no, I was like,
The
what?
secretary. This is from Jeff. I am a furniture artist and refinished this piece in malachite. With the help of your videos and lives, I replaced the glass doors with stained glass. My first attempt at stained glass. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it and nice learning experience.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah,
That's
Jeff, I'm looking at your
unbelievable.
secretary and I'm looking across the room at our secretary. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've got a big old brown one, and it would look good like that.
That sure would. Malachite, huh? That's
Malachite.
beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay. Augustine machine.
I hear you, man.
Another strange bit from the natural world. The microscopic tardigrade. This one is 8 by 11, reinforced with 20 gauge wire. The claws are modeled from brass plumber's chain, and the mouth from zinc plated serrated washers. Your recent live stream discussion of preheated before flux really helped. As always, deepest gratitude for your generosity and your wisdom. The Augustine machine. I love it. And
I do too. I had to look up to see what it was.
what is the tardigrade? It's a microscopic in the water, right?
Yeah, it lives in lakes and ponds, and it's microscopic. It didn't say anything about whether it would like eat your brain or anything, but Augustine machine, when they plow the fields here in our area, the farmers, these things come up, except they're about 1.5 inches long, and they call them grubs, and the cow egrets are feasting on these green, they're not microscopic, they're about 1 inch big, but they're really
They look kind of like
limey
that.
green, but they look almost
Are they-
identical to that.
Are they tobacco worms? Are
Well,
they
yeah, they're tobacco grubs or something like that. Anyway, the cattle egrets love them.
But they're just like that, all
They look just like that.
wormy looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All wormy looking.
Okay, Carol. Stained glass by Carol Radkins. Well, this is mostly finished. It's a 23 by 30. This is Carol's words. I still have some touch-up soldering to do before patina. I drew the pattern based on a painting I did years ago of Monet's garden at Giverny. What a journey. I took my first stained glass class 18 months ago. I think my glass cutting skills have developed faster than my soldering skills. I'm planning to dial back to simpler patterns so I can improve my soldering.
Carol,
it
I hope
looks
this wasn't the
fine
piece
to me.
that you had the little crack in.
Oh, also, I just heard that the piece I entered in the Washington State Fair won first place. Yay!
Everybody-
And grand
everybody-
champion.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Everybody, let's give Carol a big thumbs up for her winning the state fair.
Washington
State Fair. That's awesome.
First place and grand
Way to
champion.
go, Carol.
Was that the one that you entered in Viewer Showcase last time? Carol? I don't know. But congratulations, Carol. You deserve it. You do beautiful work. And I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. Carol, that's awesome. I mean, that is awesome.
Okay.
You should make sure you take your award down to Bullseye next time you go.
Yeah, yeah. This is kind of out of our wheelhouse here, but I wanted to share this. I got this note. And Dee Dee, I apologize. I did not put Mandrell at the end of your name, and I realized that after we went on air. But Dee Dee Niederhaus Mandrell is her name. And this is a picture of her studio, and I just want to read what she wrote us because I was so touched by her letter. She says, "Hi Barb, I love being a member of your channel. I can't tell you how much I've learned from your videos and Monday night live streams. I get so excited when I do difficult cut and it works. I've always loved stained glass, but life never seemed to allow the space or funds. In 2012, I married a man that was determined to help me realize the dream of this passion. He built my first studio space in 2013 next to his art space so we could work together. He passed away unexpectedly in 2018. My sweet 81-year-old dad lost my mom, his wife of 63 years, in 2022. He helped me expand my studio space. We have learned from each other so much. Between my dad and my late husband, I have a studio that I love to be in and always make me think of them. Now everything I do is so I can have more glass time. Thanks for all you and Ed do." Thank you, Dee Dee. That was
Thank you,
sweet.
Dee Dee.
And I just wanted to share this studio with you. She's got some great
Good
ways
looking
to
racks and storage. Wow.
yeah, great ways to store glass, and a great glass rack down there at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Because you know, she has the glass racks for half sheets and full sheets, and then for cutoffs to colorize them. I love it.
If any of you want to send in a picture of your studio for Viewer Showcase, we'll be glad to share it.
We will.
And thank you. And please send a quality photo and a short description to viewershowcase@gmail.com.
That's right. That's awesome. You guys have excelled again in the viewer showcase this month, and I can't thank you all enough for sending your photos in. It gives Barbara and I an opportunity to see what you all have going on in your lives. It's awesome.
Yes, it is. Congratulations to all the
Yeah, and Carol,
Those in
congratulations again on that that award. That's got to be, that's really awesome.
Okay, did we get some questions come in while we were doing viewer showcase? I think there was a couple. Let's see.
There's one, scroll down a little bit more, I think.
Up, down, up.
Other way, other way. Other way, other way. It's got
That
like
way?
3 Q's in front of it. There we go.
Oh,
John.
what do you mean about patina?
Oh,
Patina is a chemical.
yeah. John, patina is a chemical that changes the color of your solder, and you use it when you're as a finishing process. Stick with us,
Oh,
man. We'll teach it to you.
It was the, yeah, we got hey guys, we got 1,000 videos on YouTube. I couldn't believe it. They sent me a note. You have 1,000 videos.
1,000 videos, and the reason we do it is because of you guys.
Yeah. So you should be able to find a little bit about patina.
Everything. Yeah. There's definitely something about patina on our videos. Yeah.
Carol said yes, it was the purple wisteria that cracked.
Oh.
Yeah, Dee Dee, are you any relation to Barbara Mandrell? Just wondering. Oh, that's okay. I don't see any more questions, guys.
I don't either.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and let Pauline know I'm not gonna have a hot dog tonight either. So.
Well, you guys have been great tonight. The viewer showcase was fabulous.
It was awesome.
The
You
night
guys
just
are
flew
awesome.
by.
Those of you that dropped us off a super thanks, we appreciate it. Because
Yeah,
remember,
thanks for the super
when we
thanks.
grow, you grow.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh,
Carla,
yay.
thank you.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
it so much. There we go. And I
That's
want to give
our
a big
first-
shout out to my mother-in-law and son who are watching, and my daughter and son-in-law.
And all our relatives
And all
and
our
friends
relatives
out
and
there.
friends that are out there watching.
viewers.
My cousin Kathy down in Florida. Hey,
Okay, guys.
thank you all very much for everything.
We love you guys.
See you Monday night. Thank you.
I got to get the ending screen on. Okay, guys.
night, everyone.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week and look for some new videos this week. We'll be working. Night.
Good night, everyone.